Joe Budden was so shook to speak on Diddy, he edited his podcast, but the audio leaked. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Head on over to CLBMG.com, see what we got cooking. I guarantee you watch Joe Budden more than me, I promise you. I don't watch Joe Budden podcast outside of a very small amount of clips and little internet viral pieces of things that he says because I cannot watch Joe. I feel like Joe is a narcissist and a hypocrite to a degree, and I can't sit through 3 hours of that, right? But I'm sure you do. If you click on this, you probably are a Joe Budden fan. And I'm going to ask you a question. When has Joe Budden not been able to speak loudly and clearly about any subject? I'll tell you when it comes to Puffy. Joe Budden did a podcast where he had something to say about Diddy and Cassie lawsuit that Cassie won for $30 million or more. She may have gotten more about the sadistic behavior that Diddy put her through for over 13 years. The paperwork came out, 35-page document. It hit the internet. Everyone ran with it. Almost no one sided with Diddy that I can remember or recall. And everyone spoke their opinion of it, even Charlemagne to a degree. His opinion was he didn't know enough. So I don't know if that's an opinion or whatever, but I believe he said if it's true, it's bad, right? Most people one way or another had something to say. Joe Budden podcast comes out where he starts off by basically saying, you don't need to know what I think to know that what is in this alleged document is wrong. You don't need a podcaster. Are people waking up looking for podcasters to validate their moral code is what he was saying. Basically saying, you really don't need to know what I have to, my opinion of Diddy's demonic treatment of this woman. We don't really need my opinion of that. We don't really need to know. Do you really need to know what I think about Diddy abusing this girl for 13 years, beating the dog snot out of her, trafficking her all around the country, sending her to hotel rooms with so battered and bruised, she have to stay in there for 2 weeks, beating the lights out of her for talking to another record exec, threatening to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and then Kid Cudi's car blows up. Allegedly, his assistant was beat up after he beat up Cassie, which she ended up quitting and getting a big bag as well years ago. It never said what the bag was for. We don't need to know. We tune in. You tune in whenever he posts these podcasts for the 3-hour tour of what Budden thinks. But today, of all days, when Diddy is the #1 trending topic, when he's accused of some of the most heinous crimes, right? Against her will, she's being made to sleep with men in front of him while he does the Isaac Smirnoff yank off, right? So what I'm saying is, we have never seen something, even R. Kelly's charges are not as heinous as this, because you didn't hear about R. Kelly doing a lot of beating women senseless, beating them bloody, trafficking them in different places. You didn't hear a lot of that. Yeah, he did some heinous stuff. Let's not get it twisted. But this was bigger. This wasn't a criminal case. This was a personal. This was a civil matter. And within 24 hours he paid it. He waited 24 hours to see if the public will react negatively, and they did. They reacted very negatively. As a matter of fact, Diddy's reputation is forever ruined. He would never be able to be the take that Diddy that we used to laugh and giggle about. He was kind of effeminate in a way, and he kind of danced with metrosexuality, and he had that little Playboy era, like anything goes, that aura of whatever's in the room, whatever it is, it could stay here. Like, he was good with it, right? We kind of laughed that off, and people kind of like chuckled, and they had their little sayings, the industry is, how it is, how these guys are in the industry, and once you go through that door, you got to pay the pipe, all that little stuff we used to say, right? It ain't gonna never be that again. Now she pulled back. She opened the door and let everybody in. Now we know it's crazy in there. And Diddy's the ringleader, right? It's never going to be the same. Now, someone as hot, for lack of a better word, someone that I think Joe Budden is the #1 podcaster. You literally get paid for your opinion. They literally do want to hear what you have to say on every subject. Joe, do you put marshmallows on your sweet potatoes? They want to sit there for an hour and hear about your sweet potatoes. They want to know everything you have to say about everything. So in what world do you think you can go on this podcast and not speak on Diddy? And that's going to be okay. Didn't speak on it. Thought it was going to be okay. Many people had something to say about that. They were like, oh, he won't speak on Diddy because that's his boy. He slams any and everybody, whether they want it or not. Sway Lee caught shrapnel he didn't even need or want about his music. Every album that comes out, he got something to say about it. Every news event, everything. All of a sudden, Diddy, you guys don't need my opinion, do you? You're not looking for me for your moral compass, right? I can't sit through the hypocrisy. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. And I understand that these guys got friends in the industry and it's loyalties and yada yada, but you could have said something. But lo and behold, he did say something. He did say something. And he went back and had the editor cut from here to here of what he actually really said in that podcast. He had the editor go from point A to point B, snip, snip, delete, bop, put it together. Now we got the show, put it out. Because he did say something. But he didn't want to put his foot in it. And these are his own words. Based on what the lawsuit said, do you want that smoke? If Diddy really is like this in the lawsuit, what kind of garbage is that? So basically, you're scared of the retaliation that Diddy might do? This one time? So you wasn't scared of nobody else's retaliation, but now it's Diddy. Now you're scared of the retaliation. Among other things. He said a lot of things. See, this is how you know when a person is being dishonest and being disingenuous. And I'm going to tell you why he really didn't say nothing. But this is when you know. When they have 5 different explanations for one problem, when you're trying to rationalize to me 5 different ways for one issue, you might be full of shit. I'm just going to be a buck with you. First it was Diddy. First it was, oh, you don't need me as your moral compass. What do you need a podcaster's opinion on this Diddy issue for? You know that it's wrong. You know that it's heinous, right? That was the first one excuse. Then it was, if you read the report, you wouldn't want this kind of drama coming in your life. Anybody can bring drama to your life. Anybody in these, have Joe Budden not ever been in drama? Right? Then it was, these other podcasters can speak on it. They can say whatever they want. They're not me. They don't have my voice. No one's listening to you niggas, is what he said. To, I believe her name is Milagro. Can't remember her last something, right? She called them out. Academics called them out. And he was like, basically, none of you guys are my level. None of you guys are my voice. If I say it, it's going to go viral. If you say it, no one gives a, right? So that's excuse number 3, right? All these excuses adding up to, I'm scared. I don't want to speak on Diddy, right? Correct me in the comments when I'm wrong. Tell me what it really was. Because if something happens right there in front of my face, and he said it in the leaked audio, that he read the whole 35-page affidavit or lawsuit or whatever you want to call it. He read the whole thing. He said, I was glued to it. If you find the leaked audio, go listen to it. He said, I was glued to it. And it's a mess. This is the messiest thing that we've seen in years. And no one has heard from Cassie in 20 years. And for her to say it, it must be true. Him and his boys, Ice and all them, was agreeing that this has to be the truth. Then the fourth excuse was, do you want to speak on something this soon without all the information? Don't you do that every day? Don't you speak on stuff that you don't have all the information on every single day? We don't need the whole case to be solved. Did you speak on Young Thug's situation? It ain't. He's still in trial. Last I checked, the case ain't over. So when did you have to have all the eggs in a row, all the ducks lined up for you to speak on something? So that's 4 different excuses as to why he didn't want to speak on Diddy. His voice is too big and the world will latch on to my comments and turn into something, right? Let's be clear. Diddy's his man. Let's be clear. But not only is Diddy his man, Diddy's a hothead. Diddy is known for smacking up on people. Let's be honest. But that's still not enough reason to not give your opinion. It's not enough reason to not give your opinion. Not at this level. You're at a level I don't think as much Diddy can do. First of all, I doubt you're going to see Diddy in public. I doubt you're going to see Diddy in public at this point. It's going to be a long time for you and Diddy eye to eye anywhere. Because wherever Diddy goes, it's going to be 1,700 paparazzis trying to get that picture. So I don't think you're going to be running to Diddy in the strip club too soon. Now, at this level, Joe, there shouldn't be nobody able to touch you at this level. You're making too much money in the first place. I don't know how you got into that fight last week, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where the dude run up, punched you in the back of the head and all, whatever what happened. You said y'all started scrapping and da-da-da in some kind of strip club. I have no idea how that happened. You're worth way too much money to be fist fighting, brawling in a strip club. It makes no sense to me. So I'm going to explain to you what's really going on. It's all of that, what he said is valid, right? When you are an individual who has certain allegiances and you have certain things that will affect your pocket, you're going to weigh all the options. So yes, every option he gave was a valid option in his mind. But the 2 options that he didn't say is the options that you really need to pay attention to. One of them is he's similar to Diddy with similar allegations of assault against women. And as soon as he says anything about this case, somebody's going to go in the comments and remind you, me, and everybody else of Joe Budden's own allegations against women and assaulting women, right? You're a Joe Budden fan. You already know it's at least 3 or 4, right? If not more. Almost all of them said something went down. Correct me when I'm wrong, please. Almost all of them have hinted or straight out said there was some form of abuse. Verbally, mentally, physically. I even believe Budden was arrested for false imprisonment when he took some girl's phone out of anger in a heated fight. So at the end of the day, Budden don't want to open that can of worms. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. It's a can of worms that a man at the top of his game don't want to open back up. It's like a can of Pringles. Once you open it, it's a whole lot of chips in there that might spill out. Can't stop eating them once you eat one, right? He don't want that. It's good right now. He got pool parties. He's at the strip club. He living good. Out of the news for all of that. Ain't no way he want that drug back up. Just gonna keep it a buck with you on that. But not only that. Yes, Diddy's mean. We found out Diddy's mean. Diddy's an animal. He's a demon. He's a demon. He may have killed Kim Porter. All of this allegedly. All this is everything's coming out. If you go into a rabbit hole of all of the conspiracy theories, and there's a psychic out there that said Diddy got it coming, and there's a phone they haven't found from Kim, and there's 3 manuscripts and all kind of stuff on USB, all this stuff coming out about Diddy going to come out. and Diddy's going to be destroyed. All of that is happening right now. But the biggest thing with Budden and Diddy is that they're a lot alike, and he's going to have to try to deal with this in the public, that he is almost exactly the same. And his career could really take a dip down when people start comparing them two together and start realizing they like birds of a feather, right? As you understand that Diddy is connected to this man, there may be more stuff that we don't know that these two have done together. Like Aaron Hall is starting to be attached to Diddy. We don't know what party that Diddy and Budden was at the same time that hasn't been exposed or alleged. People have dirt on each other. You see Suge Knight coming out of nowhere with all this. He got all this stuff to say about Diddy. All this stuff. Suge knows everything about this man. Suge got a whole podcast right now talking about Diddy did this and Diddy did that. Ghostface this, Ghostface that, Ghostface so crack. He know everything, right? There may be some 6 degrees of separation with Budden and Diddy. It's called mutual destruction. Mutual assured destruction. Budden may not want to push that button that make Diddy say, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Oh, me? Just as me? Nah, we going down together hand in hand, buddy. There may be a mutual destruction button that Diddy has on Joe that he can push whenever he get ready. That may be the real reason he edited that audio. See, Budden does a podcast every day, and when you're going for 3 and 4 hours, you're going to say some stuff you may not want out there. You're tired, you just finished your latte or whatever, and you just keeping it a buck. But in the back of your mind, I can edit that part out. So Joe edited the part out that he said about Diddy. And then came back and act like, y'all didn't even really want to hear it anyway. So why should I speak on it? Like he never spoke on it. And then when people came out and called him out, he said, y'all don't have my voice anyway. Nobody's listening to you. Nobody cares what y'all talking about. But at the end of the day, in the back of his mind, he know I got some skeletons in my own closet that I don't want board up. And there may be something that Diddy got on a little Diddy drive that's going to destroy my whole thing. I don't want to change seats with this dude for no reason. Absolutely no reason. So we will see, because Diddy is getting, there's a lot of heat coming on Diddy right now. They're saying there's more lawsuits. I think 3 more came out, right? And like I said, there's this psychic out there saying she already called it back in July that in November, Diddy was going to get exposed. And guess what happened in November? Diddy got exposed. And she said it's not over. Kim Porter's on the other side watching and looking and lining things up to line his ass up. So we will see. But at the end of the day, where's Budden's words on this one? He got something to say about everything else. We're going to see. Let's see if there's a mutual button that Joe's scared to push. Because sometimes I go down, you go down too. How Denzel said at the end of training day, I'm putting cases on all you mother. You do this to me, I'm King Kong. This Diddy right now. Diddy feel like that right now. Diddy feel like Denzel in training day. He might start taking everybody down when his back against the wall. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, head over there. Let me know how you feel about it. We got instrumental music up. We just got some new, all kind of hip hop, all kind of merchandise. Go down below and grab some out the merchandise row right there. Support the channel. Click the links when you go over to the website. We got a whole bunch of sponsors like ShotsBox, Brutal Buddha, and Brew Demon. Click them links. Show some love. Support. Every Tuesday night, we got the Mix Down show. Every Wednesday night, we got the What show. Make sure you tuning in live. We go ham. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.